For 8 years, I thought my marriage to Dominic was a fairy tale. He was the perfect husband, loving, attentive, and incredibly successful. Our life was everything I had ever dreamed of. We had a beautiful home, 2 wonderful children, and a love that seemed unbreakable. I was Eliza, the woman who had it all. Or so I thought. I believed every word he said, every late night at the office, every business trip he took. Dominic became more distant. The late nights grew more frequent, the business trips longer. When I asked, he just smiled that charming smile of his and say, "Big project, honey. It'll all be worth it soon." A successful man has a busy schedule. A loving husband buys his wife presents. Everything was normal. I convinced myself that the emptiness I felt when he wasn't there was just me missing him. I was so wrong. The excuses became more elaborate. A last-minute conference in another state. A weekend retreat with clients. He always had a perfect explanation, complete with flight details and hotel confirmations he'd casually leave on his desk. I'd even call the hotels sometimes, just to hear them confirm his reservation. See? I'd tell myself, he's exactly where he said he would be. I was so desperate to believe in our perfect life that I became his accomplice in my own deception. I ignored the faint scent of a perfume that was mine on his collar and dismissed the hushed phone calls he'd take in the other room. I was living in a bubble, and Dominic was carefully making sure it never popped. The children started noticing too. "Is Daddy going away again?" My 7-year-old Leo would ask, his little face full of disappointment. I'd plaster on a smile and reassure him, "Daddy's working hard for us, sweetheart." But each time I said it, the lie tasted a little more bitter in my mouth. I started feeling like a single parent. I was the one at every school play, every parent-teacher conference, every doctor's appointment. Dominic was a ghost in our family photos, a voice on the phone promising he'd be home soon. My friends tried to gently voice their concerns, but I shut them down. "You don't know him like I do," I'd say defensively. I was protecting my marriage, or what I thought was my marriage. In reality, I was just protecting myself from a truth I wasn't ready to face. The breaking point arrived on a Tuesday evening. It was our anniversary, and Dominic had promised a special night. He'd booked a table at our favorite restaurant, the one where he proposed, but an hour before we were supposed to leave, he called. "Liza, honey, I am so sorry," he began, his voice laced with that practiced regret I come to know so well. "Something's come up at work, a huge crisis. I have to fly out tonight. I can't get out of it." The disappointment hit me like a physical blow. "But Dominic, it's our anniversary," I whispered, tears already welling up. "I know, baby, and I feel terrible. I'll make it up to you, I swear. A big trip, just the 2 of us, anywhere you want to go. Same old promises, same old lies." I hung up the phone, my heart a leaden weight in my chest. That night, I couldn't sleep. The house felt too big, too empty. I just sat on the sofa, staring at the wall, feeling a profound sense of loneliness. Around 2 a.m., his phone, the one he kept for work, started ringing. He'd forgotten it on the charger in his hurry to leave. I never touched his things, but something inside me snapped. A primal instinct took over. I walked over and picked it up. The screen lit up with a name I didn't recognize, Jessica. My hand trembled as I swiped to answer, my heart pounding in my ears. I didn't say anything. I just listened. A woman's voice, sleepy and intimate, came through the speaker. "Hey babe. Did you land yet? I miss you already. The kids are asking when their Uncle Dom is coming back to see them." The world stopped spinning. The air left my lungs. Kids? Plural? Uncle Dom? It was like a puzzle piece clicking into place, revealing a picture so horrific I couldn't comprehend it. Every lie, every business trip, every late night, It all came rushing back, but this time the context was different. It was dark, and it was terrifying. I quietly hung up the phone, my body numb with shock. It wasn't a business trip. It was another life. A whole other family. The next few hours were a blur of frantic, silent investigation. My hands shook as I went through his work phone. It was a Pandora's box of betrayal. Photos of him with this Jessica and 2 young children, a boy and a girl, at the beach, at birthday parties, on vacation. They looked so happy, like a real family. There were text messages, thousands of them, filled with I love yous and inside jokes. He was living a complete double life. The conferences were family vacations. The client dinners were dates. The business trips were him going home to his other family. He wasn't Dominic, the devoted husband. He was Dominic, the master manipulator. The pain was indescribable. It was a physical agony, a deep, gut-wrenching betrayal that hollowed me out completely. 8 years of my life, our life, had been a lie. Our children were part of a lie. My love for him was built on a foundation of deceit. I looked at the photos of our wedding on the mantelpiece, and all I could see was a stranger smiling back at me. Who was this man I had shared my bed with, had children with? I felt foolish, naive, and utterly broken. How could I have been so blind? How could someone be capable of such a profound and calculated deception? The next day, when Dominic called, his voice cheerful and oblivious, I answered with a calmness that scared even me. "How's the conference?" I asked, my voice flat. "Oh, long meetings, boring presentations," he lied, so effortlessly. And in that moment, something inside me hardened. The love was gone, replaced by a cold, quiet fury. "That's funny," I said, "because Jessica called your work phone last night. She and the kids missed their Uncle Dom." The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. It was the most satisfying sound I had ever heard. The house of cards had fallen. The fairy tale was over. It was time for Eliza to wake up. This wasn't just the end of my marriage. It was the beginning of my fight for the truth and for a new life, free from his lies. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever felt that flicker of doubt, trust your intuition. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.